Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I have another treat for you this week. I'm so excited about today's episode because I know a lot of you ask the question like, what's the science behind manifestation? Or prove it to me, Jamie, or tell me, I want to know the details behind this. And I have to say, I tend to lean into more of the intuitive feeling side of it. And I'm like, I don't know. I just experiment. I test it out and it works. And so while I do dive into some of the science of it, I wanted to bring on an expert in the science of manifestation, someone who can describe it in a way where for some of you, it's really going to land and you're going to say, oh my gosh, that makes sense. This is actually how the brain works and why manifestation works. And so I have asked my incredible client, Dr. Kathleen Kelley, to come on, and we are going to dive into some of those questions. So let me go ahead and introduce her first, and then we'll dive in. So Dr. Kathleen Kelley has been in the healthcare industry for over 30 years. And these days, she works with people who are stressed out, overwhelmed, and headed towards burnout. Her passion for neurology, brain health, wellness, and self-care led her to become a life coach. She uses both her experience as a seasoned physical therapy professor, yoga and meditation teacher, and her thorough understanding of neuroscience to guide individuals to shift their mindset. Kathleen applies principles of modern neuroscience to her coaching to help people rewire their brains for more peace and less stress. She creates individualized programs for her clients to tackle the stress and get on with their life. So welcome, Kathleen. Thank you for being here. This has been a long time coming because me and Kathleen have been in each other's worlds for a while, and I'm just so excited to have you. Thank you.
It's the best intro ever. Can you do all my intros, please?
It's just who you are. Come on.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm super excited to dive in because I love your brain and I love the way that you think. And I really love how you bring all of these backgrounds together, right? You bring the neuroscience, but then you also have all of these specialties and yoga and life coaching, and you blend it all together so beautifully. So I'd love to ask you, what's the neuroscience behind manifestation and focusing on what you want? If you were to describe it in a way that, would help someone understand kind of the science behind it.
Well, it's just what you said. Manifestation is focusing on what you want, because our brains are always at work, right? You always have thoughts. You're always looking around. You're always taking in sensory data. But what we have is selection bias. We pick what we notice based on past experiences, things that have gotten you to where you are right now, things that helped you be successful in the past. You notice, you pick, right? And then you want to manifest. I want a new job. The thing I've had in my mind, because I read it in her book, is Mel Robbins wanted to manifest becoming a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. So there's the goal. There's the clarity. And in our program, in the movement, you talk often about get crystal clear on your goal. And when you get crystal clear on your goal, you're starting to take the lingering selection bias and make it less important and make your goal more important. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? You decide you want a goal, and then tomorrow you got a job speaking in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
It takes time. So what Mel started doing is speaking for free at the library in front of women. she noticed an opportunity because she had a goal. Her brain stopped looking at all the things that were bad. Oh, we're in debt. Oh, we have this problem. Oh, my husband is so upset about something. She stopped noticing all that and noticed, they have this flyer up at the library, because you got crystal clear on your goal and you're creating your own selection bias. What you're doing, how I think of it, as you're resetting your filter,
Mm.
right? Our filters are set based on things that happened in our past, how we grew up, genetics, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in alcoholism. My filter is set to be looking around, waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
That's my filter. I inherited that from my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to choose to reset my filter.
Yeah.
The shoe is not dropping. The shoe is
Yeah.
fine.
Yes.
And I have this new goal, right? I want to manifest more clients in my business. That's one
Yeah.
of my manifestations. So now I'm looking for opportunities that will allow me to get in front of my clients. I
Yeah.
started with workshops. I could submit a workshop to my state, um, our state meeting. Now, have I spoken at the state meeting before? Yes. Have
Yeah.
I
Okay.
been to the state meeting before? Yes. Have I showed up at the state meeting as a life coach for stressed out people before?
Mm.
No.
Mm.
All of a sudden, this opportunity that was right in front of my face suddenly became a different opportunity, an opportunity to get in front of my people with my business.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was easy. You probably coached my head trash. Like, oh, I can't go. I can't talk about this. I can't tell them I'm
Yeah.
a life coach. They're going to think I'm crazy,
A
right?
shift in identity, right? Because
Yeah.
you came in with the identity of professor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Professor, researcher, physical
Yep.
therapist.
Yep.
And the first practice was just saying, I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
Just saying it, I'm a life coach.
Yep.
And the next practice was, I'm a life coach who needs to get in front of her people. How
Yeah.
do I do that? And then here's the opportunity. So get in front of your people.
Yeah.
And now it's, I'm kind of burnt out on doing workshops. What's a different way?
Yeah.
It was probably 3 calls in the movement before I finally blurted out that day, "Hey, Jamie." Right? So taking the
Yep.
action
Yeah.
when you start to reset your filter
Yep.
towards your goal, you're selecting your goal, you
Yep.
are choosing your goal, and you're crystal clear on your goal. So you're resetting your filter, and that starts the process of being less afraid of the actions,
Yeah.
because you're
Interesting.
getting your goal in your subconscious. Oh, it's my
Yes.
goal. It's my goal to be booked on a podcast.
Totally.
And I do that practice you give us where you get into the feeling.
Yep.
What feeling do you want when you're getting booked on a podcast?
Yep.
And it's so interesting, some of the research I came across. Yes, the goal is in my conscious mind. I wrote it down. I have a
Yep.
card over here. I journaled. But the feeling, sitting in the feeling, gets it into my unconscious mind.
Oh.
You sit in the feeling
Yeah.
on your meditation cushion or on your pool floaty. That's how I do it sometimes.
Oh, I like that. That's a new practice. I like that.
You sit
Yeah.
in the feeling and your amygdala goes, "Hey, yo, what's going on over there? Give me some of that." And we think of the amygdala as being the fight or flight center, but it has emotions, right? It
Yeah.
processes emotions, not just bad emotions, like all
Mm.
emotions. And it's an intricate part of your unconscious. So you're sitting in this feeling that you have attached to your goal, and then the amygdala goes, huh, give me some of that. And then you
Yeah.
go to bed that night and your amygdala and your hippocampus are thinking, how can we get booked on a podcast? How can
Yep.
I get in front of people and be a motivational speaker?
Yep.
Right? You and Josh are looking for a home.
Yep.
How can we find a home?
Yeah.
And like my
Yes.
My guess is at the beginning, you found some really great condos because
Yep.
that's where you started.
Totally.
And then you
100%.
went, "Ah, okay, this is great, but we really want a home. How does
Yeah.
the home feel? What do we
Yeah.
feel like in our home?" And
Totally.
you keep resetting that filter. You keep
Yes.
resetting it.
I really like that, and I've never heard of selection bias, and what I really it's fascinating about that, and I'm curious. So, if you're not selecting on purpose, right? Selecting the vision, getting crystal clear on what you want, deciding on the goal, deciding where you're going, whether that's a motivational speaker or a booked life coach or moving to Hawaii, whatever it is, right? If you're not deciding, what happens to selection bias? Where does your brain go when you don't decide or when you don't have that vision and that focus?
It goes to the place where it's always been. I
Mm,
just listened to one of your audios today in our program,
yeah,
and you were talking about when you weren't making any money, and your
yep,
coach asked you, "Well, Jamie, are you showing up as that coach?" And you said, "No, I'm in yoga pants all day and
yeah,
I'm sitting around." That's where your brain always went for a long
yes,
time, sitting
yep,
around, ruminating,
yep,
writing things down, making lists. So if you didn't decide, I don't want this anymore.
yeah,
I want to be a 100K coach. If you
yep,
didn't decide, then your brain's just going to go to where it's always gone because some part of you got something out of that.
yeah,
Some part of you got a reward out of that. You
yeah,
got to sit at home in your yoga pants and not be embarrassed speaking in front of
totally.
people, right?
Not
You got
try new things, not get out
yeah,
of my comfort zone, even though it's like it's painful being who you've always been. I always say there's like comfort in it because you know that level of discomfort. So you have to either choose the old discomfort of staying where you've been. With me, it was hiding, like not putting myself out there, not getting on video, not sharing my voice or my message, and staying in yoga clothes, right? And I just decided I'm getting sick of this type of, it's like, yeah, it was a comfortable discomfort, but it got very loud and clear that that's not where I wanted to be. So I had to choose a new focus, a new level of discomfort. So I love the idea that that happens through selection bias. That's so fascinating.
well, and let's
um
just be clear, it wasn't easy
yeah.
for you.
No. Oh,
It
no,
wasn't
absolutely,
easy
and it's
for you.
still not. Like, this is still the practice. It's so
Yes.
wild how, you know, we think at some point and it's not that it doesn't get easier, but if you're gonna continue growing, it's still the same process
Correct.
of becoming the next version of yourself, and evolving and growing it can be uncomfortable. You have to lean into a lot of trust. You have to lean into a lot of the unknown and courage and doing things you don't know how to do. So it doesn't change. So I completely get that.
Well, because the neuroscience is against you.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of years of, "I need to stay safe. I need to
Yeah.
stay safe. I need to be protected. I need to be part of the tribe.
Yeah.
I need to have a partner who's gonna protect me." Hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of years. It's
Okay.
only been in, like, the past, I think, 2,000 years where we are more able to decide because we're not at risk of actually dying.
Yeah.
So the science is a bit against you because you
Yeah.
have very deep programming of safety. Very deep
Yeah.
programming of, "Oh, if I'm afraid of that, then
Yep.
I'm not going to do it." Now, what you're afraid of is so different now, right?
Yeah.
I'll just use you, right? You were
Yep.
afraid of speaking in front of people.
Yep.
You're not actually going to die if you
Yeah.
speak in front of people.
Yeah.
Right? I coach therapists. I coach people in academia, and I said to someone one time, "You know, you're not gonna die if you
Yeah.
submit this paper and they reject it." And she looked at me and said, "Are you sure?"
Right.
I'm sure, but it feels that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And the feelings aren't any different than if you really were going to die because
Yeah.
it's all coming from the same place, coming from the unconscious mind that
Yep.
is creating fear, creating a response to flee, dumping, cortisol and things into your
Yeah.
system. It's all the same. It's just we're not actually going to die. So you
Ooh, that's yeah.
decide.
Yeah. So with that, I think it's also can just be such a relief to like normalize that some of these things that our conscious mind, we're like, why can't we take action on this? Why has it felt so hard? Why is it so scary to share an Instagram reel? Whatever it is, we're like, we know we're not going to die, but it feels so scary and there's so much resistance. Do you know of a way? I mean, obviously, coaching really helps with this, but how would you recommend we work with this evolution, right? Where it feels like we're working against our brain in a little bit, like it's only been in the last 2000 years where we're actually not going to die, but it feels like we're going to die. How do we create safety in those moments?
Yeah, you create safety from the inside out. You
Okay.
have safety in your own body first so
Yeah.
that the circumstances can't pull you out of your safety.
Yeah.
My favorite practices have to do with the breath, but those aren't the only practices.
Yeah.
So when I do a workshop, my first practice is with a deep breath. And everyone's paid money and they've come and I'm like, I see you. I see you rolling your eyes. Kath, you're going to teach us a deep breath. We know a deep breath. I'm going to teach you the most regulating deep breath you've ever taken.
Mm.
Ready? Going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to get long, like from the tops of your hips to your underarms, heads of the arm bones back. Your hands can be wherever, but they're relaxed.
Okay.
If you can, ground your feet. It's not required, but it's nice. Then you're going to close your mouth and put one hand over your belly button. Breathe in through your nose and the belly comes out. And exhale. That is a true parasympathetic deep breath. Your belly came out, which means your diaphragm, which is a dome, flattened. Right? Belly comes out, diaphragm flattened. What does that do? Well, it brings air into the lungs, which is a safety mechanism. It's telling your brain, ooh, we have enough air. It does so much more than that.
Yeah.
It does so much more than that. What people don't realize is the heart is right here. The pericardium is sitting right on top of the diaphragm. When you take the diaphragm away, the heart goes, space. And I love when you had Molly on and she said, I put my hand on my heart.
Yeah.
So you take a deep breath, you put your hand on your heart, you get influx of oxygen. It's a parasympathetic signal to your vagus nerve, and it's a release of your heart. And your hand is feeling your heart emitting a signal that says, ooh, we're safe.
Mm.
We're safe. The electromagnetic field of the heart is 3 feet. It's 3 feet.
Wow.
It vibrates with emotion. You create peace and calm on the inside from your heart out. You can radiate that to your audience who might be like giving you the side eye.
Yeah.
To your husband. I watched you and Josh do it in the car when you were driving around Maui. I watched you guys regulate each other while you were driving around. Yep, we're good. We got this. Josh is like, we don't live in that world. We got this. We're finding a place. You guys were co-regulating.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know this.
You do it all the time with him. I see you all the time do it with him. You guys, it's part of the magic of your relationship is that you co-regulate so well.
Wow. Because your, what would you call it, magnetic field or your heart space?
The electromagnetic field of your heart.
Yeah.
It's coming out. It's coming out.
And what happens when you breathe? What happens to that field?
Well, you're giving the heart space to say, oh, I'm safe. So if you do it in reverse, like draw your belly up and in, draw your diaphragm out, breathe up, then your heart goes, I got to pump faster because I'm unsafe.
Yeah. You feel the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the whole thing is telling your vagus nerve, oh, there's enough air. Oh, the heart's going slower. Vagus nerve to solitary nucleus to hypothalamus. Your subconscious is getting the message, we're safe.
Yeah.
So now you insert this safety message into your subconscious and you take it around with you. So you go someplace and you get in front of your 10 people that you finally booked the speaking gig,
Yeah.
and you feel all of a sudden nervous. And then you remember, oh, Kathleen taught me to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You conjure safety, even though your conscious mind is looking out and is going to let the circumstance hijack you. Inside is
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah. What happens when you shift into that? Like, what actually happens? Let's say you're freaking out about something, you're going to go live or you're going to get on stage and you're just sweating and freaking out, and you decide to pause and do that one deep breath into the heart space, into the belly, and you calm your parasympathetic nervous system. What actually happens internally?
So internally, when you're freaking out, you're sweating, that's a sympathetic drive.
Yep.
So your sympathetic nervous system has decided you're unsafe.
Yeah.
And it doesn't know the difference between speaking in front of 20,000 people or about to be run over by a car.
Yeah.
The neurotransmitters that get dumped are the same.
Wow.
Even
It sounds
though
like
your
yeah.
safety, you're never going to die. I have been speaking in front of people for 30 years.
Yeah.
No death.
Still here.
So
Thank God.
your sympathetic nervous system increased your heart rate. It's making
Yeah.
you sweat. It makes you dry in the mouth, so it's harder to speak,
Yep.
and it's making your breath shallow. You said, girl, you don't have me today. You
Yeah.
took a deep breath.
Yeah.
So you drew your diaphragm down. You drew your belly out. You are calming from the inside. You're asking your parasympathetic system for help.
Yeah.
Now, if you're really wired, if it's really upsetting, it might take a little longer.
Yeah.
You
Totally.
might not be able to instantly turn yourself off. Why? I'll tell you why. Because there's no parasympathetic off switch on the adrenal gland. It has to come from your hypothalamus. Your hypothalamus has to decide, oop, she doesn't need this cortisol anymore. I got to stop dumping this cortisol into her body. So, like, if you've ever experienced anticipating a vacation to the point where you like packed your schedule for the 2 weeks before and you're like vibrating, and you finally get to the beach and you're like, can't relax.
100%. Sometimes I say that. I'm like, I think it takes me a week to finally get into vacation mode.
Yeah, because your
Yeah.
hypothalamus didn't know.
Yeah.
Your prefrontal cortex knew, because that's your cognitive brain. Your hypothalamus didn't know. So it kept activating, dumping cortisol, and you're now flushing cortisol.
Yeah.
My recommendation, you got on the beach, you got your book, and you're like,
Yep.
my recommendation is an activity, but not like hop on the Peloton and sweat until you die.
Yeah.
Take a walk.
Yeah.
Notice the ocean. Notice the smell. Get into your senses.
Yeah.
Ride your Peloton gently and
Yeah.
put something pretty on there.
Yep.
Right? One of the oceans or whatever they have
Yep.
on there. I don't know. I never use those. Right? Go for a hike, but an easy hike.
Yeah.
Don't do that thing that like cardio, I need to push myself.
Yep.
You want to burn off the cortisol.
Oh, interesting.
Get yourself into vacation mode. Get yourself into your parasympathetic without creating more.
Yeah.
And the
It's
hustle,
like a bridge, right? So you're not, it's like slowing that momentum down is how I'm hearing it. And I could see that not only working for vacation, which I know a lot of people are going to like this because I've coached so many people on like going to vacation and feeling like, what the heck? I can't turn it off. I don't know how to rest. And it's like the momentum is there, right? And yeah, so I feel like you could use it on vacation, but also this could be applied anytime that you're in kind of that big activated phase and you need that bridge. It's like doing something where they're still not trying to go from one extreme to the next, right? Not trying to go from all of this movement to just lay down and rest.
Right. Right. It's too much. It's too much.
Yes.
Your hypothalamus, your HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, it's still firing because we
Yeah.
need to get into the subconscious and say, hey, we're on vacation.
Yeah.
We're safe. One of the great ways to do that is through either meditation or hypnosis.
Okay.
It's the bridge from the conscious to the unconscious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you try meditating on the plane. Notice
Yeah.
your feet. Notice your arms. Notice your breath.
Mm.
Say, I'm headed towards vacation.
Yeah.
It'll all be there when I get back. I'm
Yeah.
safe. I'm secure. I'm headed towards vacation, right? Start on the plane. So by the time you land, you're sort of on the way. You're on the way down.
You need to record a meditation for people going on vacation.
Oh, I will. Oh, I totally will. I totally will.
Yeah, that's so good.
I'm going to write that down.
So good. I love that so much.
I have
Oh
some
my
on
gosh.
my
And yeah, it
YouTube
kind of
channel.
brings me into visualization because I want to know a little bit of the science behind visualization. And I know you mentioned that a bit of on the plane, start to visualize yourself going there,
Mhm.
talking yourself through getting on vacation. Can you talk a little bit about the science behind why visualization actually works? Like when we're visualizing a goal or seeing something as done, seeing us there, anything. Tell us
Yeah,
all the things.
it's very similar to when you have a crystal clear goal.
Okay.
So your eyes are always working.
Yeah.
The occipital lobe, the back of the brain. Oops, that's my brain. Here's my brain.
Okay.
Not my brain. It's
For those
plastic.
of you watching on YouTube, she's showing the brain model.
So the back here is the occipital lobe. It's
Okay.
one of the biggest parts of the brain. It like vision has a ton of real estate associated with it in the brain. So our eyes are always working, always taking in, and it's just taking in whatever. And again, you're filtering with bias. So now I'm going to visualize. I'm going to visualize myself sitting in my office, chatting with Jamie like we're just chatting, two girlfriends.
Mhm.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm doing well. So now my visual system has a cue, which is going to help it look for ways to create. I picked happy. Right?
Hmm.
I want to feel happy. I want to feel calm while I'm talking to you. You pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
Um, when you direct your vision, you direct the neurons, and what we call it is adjusting the gain.
Mm.
Gain, think of gain as when you're turning up the volume on the radio,
Okay.
right? It's gain, it's turning up the volume.
Yep.
So I'm looking for how can I stay calm? How can I stay relaxed? I picture myself sitting. I picture us smiling at each other.
Yep.
I picture you smiling at me because you're always smiley. Right? And now my visual neurons are clued in to all the things that can make me feel, I wanted to feel happy and calm.
Yep.
Let's say we're back to your speaking gig, right? I
Yep.
visualize myself. I'm up on stage. I picture all these people. They're looking at me.
Yeah.
They're nodding. They're getting it. Ooh,
Yeah.
someone's asking me a question. Now my eyes are going to find the guy who's raising his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I love it. I love it. And I mean, I've used that so much and it is such a game changer, especially for the things I've been nervous about. Or, I mean, I use visualization a lot, but I love using it for the things that I'm stepping into that I'm kind of nervous about, or it's like feels like an up level for me, and to really see it as I want it to be. And so it's fascinating to hear the kind of behind the scenes of what is actually happening in your brain and why it actually works.
Well, the
So,
visual system is connected directly to the filter.
okay.
A lot of people talk about the reticular activating system,
Yes.
and the reticular activating system, it keeps us awake, keeps us alert. But
Yeah.
just above the reticular activating system is the thalamus. The thalamus is the big filter.
Okay.
So here's where the reticular activating system lives, all in here. Reticular means net. So it's a
Okay.
net of nuclei and tracks. But right here, this blue, that's the thalamus. That's the filter. It has a nucleus dedicated only to vision.
Yeah.
So your visualization is resetting your filter to look for the ways, the things that get you your goal.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, oh, I'm visualizing a launch. I'm
Yeah.
visualizing, I don't know, 20 people in a launch, a
Yep.
line, da 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 da. Now your thalamus is set to notice. Oh, I haven't talked to her in so long. I'm going to
Yeah.
shoot her an email.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, was that so and so on such and such podcast?
Yeah.
She was my client 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot her an email.
Yeah.
You did it to me. You
Yeah.
shot me an email
Yeah.
because your
Which was
thalamus.
just intuitive for me. I didn't even think about it, but it's so true. It just opens things. And that is how I've seen it, right? From like a little bit more of the intuitive side, I guess, is it feels like whenever I do these practices, you're describing why it actually works in the brain, but I've seen so much evidence of it, not even knowing why. But it's so true. Whenever I visualize something, I always feel like I get more creative, more ideas, more intuitive. I'm led to things. So it makes so much sense. And you also, I just am picking up that you've mentioned a couple times the importance of bringing not only the vision, not only writing down the I am statements, but also bringing the emotion that you want into it. And I've heard you talking about that, right? Whether that's fun, whether that's relief, whether that is calm, bringing that emotion into would you say the visualization process, the
Anything,
manifestation
all the
process?
process. Always
Yeah.
bring the emotion. Emotions
Okay.
are more primitive than thoughts.
Okay.
Right? The prefrontal cortex developed later in the human life. And,
Okay.
we have the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like your dog, she's not very curious. She's just a dog.
Yeah. She's not thinking about her thoughts, I don't think.
No, she doesn't have metacognition. That's a later skill in
Okay.
humans.
Yeah.
Emotions are more primitive. So if we get the emotion of what we want into our subconscious, then the filters in the thalamus start to pull it out because the
Mm,
thalamus is connected. It's
yeah.
connected to the prefrontal cortex, they talk, but it's
Yeah.
also connected to all the deeper structures.
Yeah.
Everything's all like basically shoved in the same spot inside the brain.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they work together. And something we really haven't talked about is like the hippocampus is right in the middle of all this. That's your
Okay.
great storage system. That's your filing system. All your stuff is in there. So when you visualize, I want an aligned client,
Yeah.
you visualize who they are, what they're doing, and then your subconscious goes into your files. And then suddenly you wake up in the morning and you're like, I got to call Sue.
Yeah.
Because she was in your file next to a client who coaches, a client who's
Mm,
interested in manifesting money, a client I met during LCS and she had a lot of great questions, right? She's
right.
filed in there. And we
Yes.
don't have a ton of control of how the files go in.
Okay.
Your hippocampus is just doing its thing.
Okay.
But if we keep ourselves regulated, we have
Yeah.
access.
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
minute you're dysregulated, you're cut off from all your files.
Okay.
It's that feeling of I don't know what to say
Yeah.
because you got dysregulated.
Yes. And I know stress and stress management, stress reduction is absolutely one of your specialties. And
Mhm.
what you coach on is helping people to reduce stress. And it's so fascinating, right? Because I always talk about manifestation as it's kind of like a reverse engineering the process, right? So it's like you have to focus on the feeling first. You have to focus on how you would think on purpose first. You have to focus on regulating your body and your stress first,
Yes.
right? Because a lot of times we think once I get to the goal, then I'll be relieved. Once I
No.
get to the goal, then I won't be stressed. Once I get to the goal, then I'll feel abundant. But it's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like you actually have to do all of this regulating first before the things come about in order to manifest. So I am curious, what would you say are the effects of working on stress in terms of the creation process and the manifestation and tapping into your intuition? Because I hear you're really tapping into that when you're talking about it.
Well, learning to self-regulate gives you access to
Okay.
all your good stuff. So your intuition is a combination of all the sensory data you've taken in, all the knowledge you've taken in, and your goal.
Yeah.
It's all like a soup inside your brain. And to have access, you need to be regulated. As soon
Yeah.
as you're stressed out, stress hijacks it's the inside of your brain, the primitive part of your brain is going to hijack your prefrontal cortex and put it into safety mode.
Yeah.
How I learned it from my meditation teacher is the prefrontal cortex, right?
Yeah.
Your curiosity, your empathy, your language, all your ideas, and your stress center, they work as a seesaw.
Mm.
They're both always on. They're both always on. But when I'm regulated, so this is my inner part of my brain, my prefrontal cortex has all these ideas and I'm creative and I'm calm and I can go, no, honey, that's okay. I'll get you a snack. When I'm dysregulated, I'm hungry, I'm angry, I'm lonely, I'm tired, right? Get your own all my empathy, all my
Yeah.
curiosity, all my stuff, it gets overpowered by the desire to serve the need. What's the need? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I overwhelmed? Like, what's the need? I have to meet the need before I can go back to being creative. And,
Mm.
if you've ever snapped at someone you love, it's
Yeah.
just your brain being your brain. And always remember, like, the language center is right at the base of the prefrontal cortex.
Mm.
So it really takes a hit when you're cranky.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do this
Yep.
when you're cranky,
That's a good
it'll
idea.
save yourself a lot. So first is, what are my needs? Like, are my
Yeah.
needs being met right now?
Yeah.
I had Lyme disease years ago, so the signals to my stomach about hunger are really messed up.
Yeah.
So I have to go, when's the last time I ate?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And you're tired. So you say, hey, I'm tired. I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Um, safety is a little trickier kind of thing because
Yeah.
I think safety means something different to all of us.
Yeah.
But you can teach your central nervous system how to feel safe. You can do breath work. You can do meditation. You can be out in nature, which feels safe to us. You
Yeah.
can sit in the corner and pet your dog or
Yeah.
your cat or whatever you have.
Yeah.
Pets are huge co-regulators,
Yeah.
huge co-regulators. And it's not about I have no stress in my life.
Yep.
It's about I have stress, I handle it, and then I move on.
Mm.
And the stress gets detrimental when I just let it all build up. I let it
Yeah.
all build up and then I explode. And that's a chronic stress and that's you're heading to burnout.
Yeah.
And I like to get to people right before that because
Yeah.
that's a lot easier to help with than burnout.
And burnout. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. And I'm sure there's so many, I mean, there's so many entrepreneurs listening, and we have a lot of high achievers that listen. And I know you work with high achievers as well. And I'm wondering, as you have seen people start to regulate and learn these tools, of course, not learning how to never be stressed, but learning how to regulate it, what tends to happen in their lives?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to talk about my favorite client right now
Yeah.
because she came to me describing waking up every morning with an elephant sitting on her chest.
Mm.
She had been diagnosed with pericarditis, which is inflammation of the sac around the heart, super
Yeah.
dangerous. And
Oh,
she was taking Xanax to regulate.
yeah.
No more Xanax, no more pericarditis, no more elephants. And when sometimes she'll say to me, my tools left me.
Yeah.
I go, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. What do you need to do? What's going to be good for you? She's heading to a very stressful event coming up. And I
Yeah.
said to her, How do you want to feel when you get there?
Yeah.
And then we reverse engineered. I said, what do you think you're going to have to do to feel that way?
Yeah.
And can you go outside if people start to ask you questions you don't feel like answering?
Yeah.
I love the bathroom. Nice warm soap, warm
Yep.
water. Look in the mirror, say, "You're looking good today,
Yes.
girl."
Yes.
Right? What do you need to do to regulate yourself in that moment?
Yeah.
And every tool doesn't work for every situation. And sometimes your tools fail you.
Yeah.
And you go, that didn't work. What else can I do?
Yeah.
One of my favorite tools is walking my dog. Well,
Yeah.
it's been 1,000,000 degrees in Connecticut lately. We haven't been walking. So
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot more breath work.
Yeah.
I did one of your fun visualizations right before I got on here. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, wait, Jamie taught me something, right? Like, what you want is a big bag of tricks. Like,
Yeah.
for the coaches who are listening, I know you all have a big bag of coaching tricks.
Yeah.
You have the model, and you have other things you've learned, and you have regulation tools, and you have books you've read. You have a big bag of tools because sometimes doing a model with someone makes them angry.
Yeah.
So you want a big bag of tools for yourself for regulation. The
Yeah.
things that we know change the brain: meditation, hypnosis, attention,
Yep.
attending, compassion. Compassion
Huge.
changes the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge.
Mm-hmm. Start with yourself.
Yeah.
I use your practice all the time. I forgive myself for buying into the belief that
Yeah.
that is a form of compassion for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So good. And I feel like everyone needs this, right? If we're a human in this world right now, we need this work. We need
You
these
do.
tools. It's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, truly the foundation. Like this stress piece that we're talking about in particular is part of the foundation of the manifestation process. It's like this is step one, is getting this foundation down. Not that you'll never be stressed, but having tools to regulate, having tools to work with it so that you can come in from more calm and manifest from that place. It's to me makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, if there are people who are, I know there's going to be so many people intrigued by this work and loving what you're sharing. And I know one of your specialties is really around, just reducing stress. You share I would love to hear you share what you love working with and how you work with people.
I love working with that rising business person. My target market is healthcare workers, but I can work with anyone in business. I
Yeah.
love the rising, and I particularly work with women. I'm not opposed to working with men at all, but I particularly love working with that rising woman in business who suddenly finds themselves newly promoted or a new rush of clients or a new activity and freaking out
Yeah.
because you were really good. Like, my clients are amazing therapists. It's
Yeah.
why they got promoted. And then they have no leadership and communication tools and very little support in the healthcare system. So I create the support.
Yeah.
First we start with from within, create safety from within, create calm from within. And like, my zone of genius is practices you can use in the moment. Because
Mm.
personally, I think everyone knows you should eat more broccoli and get more sleep.
Yeah.
Y'all know it. Y'all know it. You choose not to. But what about when, I was on a call with a coach one time and her kids were banging on the door.
Yeah.
What about when the kids are banging on the door and you're watching the tree fall out the window and somewhere in the back of your mind is like a bill you forgot to pay?
Yeah.
How can you regulate in that moment?
Yeah.
You can ground your feet and take a deep, deep breath.
Yeah.
Right? And I have other practices that you
Yeah.
can do in the moment. No one knows. And you
Yeah.
regulate in that moment, you get through that moment, and then you come back and decide, how can I create an environment where that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
And to me, the next place is boundaries. I teach all my therapists about boundaries. Like, if you keep taking your notes home, they're going to keep letting you.
Yeah.
And it's a little shocking to people to say no in the beginning. It really is hard for people to learn to say no.
Yep.
Do you want to take your notes home? Not really. So why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say no. Have you tried?
Yeah.
Have you tried? I don't really want to coach this client. Okay. Have you tried ending the relationship? Oh, I can't do that. Have you tried?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? I love talking about boundaries because for me, it was such a foreign concept.
Yeah.
You don't have boundaries when you grow up in alcoholism. You have people pleasing, right? You're trying to regulate everyone. So learning about boundaries, creating my own boundaries, reading about boundaries, we give back what we've learned ourselves.
Yep.
It was a game changer and also totally blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? I don't have to go to that funeral if I don't want to. I'm Irish. We go to all funerals.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I love to work with, rising people who have found a place where they're lacking skills.
Yeah.
Because all those skills, leadership, communication, regulation, boundaries, you can learn it.
Yeah.
You learned how to be a coach or a therapist or an entrepreneur, whatever it is you're doing right now, you learned. You can learn all this.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. So good. Where can people find you, Kathleen?
So you can find me on my website, KathleenKelleyCoaching.com. And right now, if you sign up for the newsletter, I'm sending you a free webinar on decision making. It's something I created actually during LCS, and it got a retool recently. So it's a little bit shorter, a little bit more to the point. And I think decisions can stress people out if they make them to be this big thing.
Yeah.
So the webinar will help you talk to your brain about this is not such a big deal. We can make this decision.
And I love that you create like blogs on these tools and simple practices, and you really offer this beautiful tool belt of simple things to do that makes all the difference, and you understand it from a brain perspective. So it's so amazing, and you are so brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of your beautiful wisdom and gifts and goodness. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.